Well, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful, sun-shining San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. I am hoping today that I might save a relationship. Possibly, can I be bold enough to hope that I might plant the seeds to distribute a tool to maybe save a marriage, maybe a teenage relationship, maybe a work relationship. My desire this morning is that you receive some basic, practical, applicable tools that will help you to restore broken relationships. And if you're the type of person that is a fighter, and if you have a habit of wanting to get the last word when you are in some type of an argument or disagreement, I want to suggest that you can indeed have the last word, and quite frankly, you ought to have the last word. And the last word should be the apology. What do I mean by that? I was instructed many, many years ago by my faithful pastor, Larry Sargent, who married Angela, and me and Angela got married 25 years ago, to be 26 years this year. And he took us through an instruction that I'll share with you this morning that is very powerful and profound. The problem with it is that it hurts if you are walking in pride. If your pride is on display, if your ego's on display, then it's going to hurt to follow these instructions. And I will tell you that if you follow these instructions, it is almost like a magic solution to restoring things. And it is simply this. If at any time during a disagreement or an argument it becomes apparent to you that this conversation is no longer really a conversation where two people are exchanging thoughts or ideas, but let's say emotions got involved, blaming got involved, defensiveness got involved, and now the volume is going up and the content is going down and the anger is going up and the love is going down and the pride is going up and the humility is going down, well, you have an opportunity to do what I'm about to share with you, which is something Angela and I have done for years that was some of the absolute best marriage advice for us early on in our relationship, although it applies to all relationships, and that is this. When you see yourself going down a path too far, you have the opportunity to do this. Time out. Time out. This is clearly going a place I don't want it to go. I was wrong. Ooh, I know that's going to hurt you. I was wrong. Will you please forgive me? Wow. Want the last word? How about that one? I was wrong. Ouch. Will you please forgive me? Ouch. Ouch. The pain associated with that in the moment will be directly proportional to your level of pride and ego. The bigger the pride and ego, the more painful it's going to be. And yet, if your desire is to be reconciled, to be unified, to be in agreement, which by the way is very wise and makes life a lot more fun, then your desire for the outcome becomes greater than your fire in the moment to look good and to be right in your own opinion. So here's the magic of that, though, and why it must be discussed among both people, particularly in a marriage, because it requires part two. In other words, here's what our pastor shared with Angela and I years ago. He said, the only way this thing works is if one of you has the sanity in the moment and the humility in the moment to acknowledge this is going a place you don't want it to go. And if that person initiates these exact words, he didn't tell us to say, my bad, it's all right. He didn't teach us that. He didn't teach us to say, sorry, whatever. Didn't. Very specific words. Words are very powerful. It affects the chemicals that are released in your brain when you hear these words. If one person has the wherewithal and the humility to say, I was wrong, will you please forgive me? The other person must, regardless of how they feel, the other person must say these words. Yes, I forgive you. Now, I know what most of you are thinking. That's ridiculous. That's too simple. That's not really going to make a big difference. Steve, you don't even know what it's like to fight or have pressure raising children and running businesses and trying to stay healthy and serving a lot of people. You don't know what it's like. For real, y'all? I know what it's like. And I will tell you, I'm not speaking from theory. I'm speaking from practical application for a couple decades. That the magic in this is that two people agree in peacetime what will be the best course of action for reconciliation when you get to war time. You see, your choice is made in advance. Attempting to come up with this solution in the middle of the battle is going to be a losing fight for both of you. This is an agreement that people come to in advance. It is during a time of peace where a couple might say, you know, we have a tendency to disagree. And when we do, because we're both fighters, we both get really fired up. So let us agree to follow this sage advice of our pastor, which is this. Whichever one of the two of us is willing to say, I was wrong, I'm sorry, will you please forgive me? The other person must agree in that moment to say, yes, I forgive you. There's something supernatural about those words being released that changes something. I wish I could explain it to you. I can't. I will just tell you that it is powerful. And it doesn't have to do with your feelings. It has to do with an act of your will. It is a decision. You decide to forgive. You don't feel like forgiving. I don't know if I've ever felt like forgiving anybody who bothered me or hurt me or messed me up. It was an act of your will, an act of a decision. It is a choice that you make for your own health and the health of the relationship. So are you the kind of person that likes the last word? Do you want to get the last word? I'll give you the last word. Apologize. And if you follow this method, I guarantee you it will shift the energy in the relationship. Here's the scenario as I wrap this up. You're fighting, you're arguing, you realize this isn't going anywhere, and at some point you have to get over yourself and your ego and your pride and realize this is just an unhealthy pattern. It's not getting us anywhere. We actually really care about each other. This is stupid. The longer it goes on, the worse it's going to be. Yada, yada, yada. Y'all feel me? You know what I'm saying, right? It's just as shaky as this video. One person, hold up, time out. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go here. I was wrong. I don't care if you weren't wrong. You got to say it. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Will you please forgive me? And the other person must use the words, yes, I forgive you. 4 words. Not I, not not okay, not fine. No, 4 words. Yes, I forgive you. When those words are spoken back and forth one another, it will not do anything magical in the moment. You're not all of a sudden going to hug and kiss each other and run to the bedroom. You know what I mean? If you are. If that works out for you, let me know how that worked for you so I can, take some notes on how to do that. What it does is it rips the fangs of poison out of one another's heart for just a moment to recognize we're both being foolish here and this isn't getting anywhere, and I'm not going to hold that against them because I'm just as guilty as the other party. It only works, ladies and gentlemen, if you agree in peacetime how you're going to show up in wartime. If you do it in wartime, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get blown up, it's not going to work. There must be an agreement. Now, Angela and I did this for years, and boy, I'm telling you, it was tough. The level of pain it's going to cause you to say it in the moment is directly related to the level of pride you have in that moment. So, my encouragement to you, are you the kind of person that likes to have the last word? Well, you can have the last word. Apologize. Have a great day, guys.